Things are looking ultra bright for one project with several mainstream partners. You could say that there's one bright light at the end of this tunnel. Alright, enough. Let's go light on the light jokes. Today we're going to be discussing Unibright. There's a lot happening under the hood with this one, and you may see it have as epic of a year in 2021 as it had last year. And that was epic. Let's get it. BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap gets you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.io. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Every day I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money and crypto, make sure to hit subscribe. If you like these deep dive videos, then also make sure to smash the like button so we know you like them. Also, if you enjoy token research, then check out Token Metrics. It's got volumes of data and research available to people looking to get into alts like Unibright. You can get a great week trial for less than $5 to see if you'll like it before you commit, because I know you guys have commitment issues. Now let's dig deep on Unibright. You guys loved our last deep dive video, so backed by popular demand, here's another one from me and my research team. And to be clear, I do want to say this on the front, in no way is this video sponsored, just some super interesting stuff we wanted to let you in on. Now, despite me pumping Ethereum on this channel and discussing a recent ETH proposal that could fix the underlying issue with the protocol, the problem still exists of scalability, which is holding projects back from mass adoption by big enterprise companies. One project trying to solve these problems is actually one of Ethereum Consensus's biggest partners, Unibright, who you may remember was working on the baseline protocol if you've been watching this channel for a while. Unibright has been unable to scale for its partners who are big corporations unable to do millions of transactions per month. However, information indicates that a new mainnet may be on the way soon this year. Now, how could such a feat be accomplished, you may ask? Well, it's not an easy task to take on at all. One of the largest problems, and that's plural, has been the blockchain trilemma: decentralized, scalable, and secure. I won't bore you with the technical details, but if you're interested in the technicals, you can read up on them, as even the godfather of Ethereum itself, Vitalik Buterin, has acknowledged this in the past. In 2018, he said that the trilemma design to fix the problem was basically done and they were in the development stages. That was more than 2 years ago, and we still have clogged transactions that are costing poor Jimmy Bitbob his kidney to use the Ethereum network to buy his favorite altcoins. That type of activity and fees isn't going to be paid by big corporations. Instead, they will choose another blockchain with more scalability options that fits their needs better. So what's the solution? During a recent Unibright baseline event, Kyle Thomas of Provide explains the dilemma and hints that UBT and Provide are working to fix it. The presentation starts with Kyle Thomas from Provide, which is a side note, their complete tech stack also works on UBT's token. Kyle explains how Unibright and Provide are working on a white paper to ultimately solve the trilemma and build unified architecture for enterprise blockchain projects called Baseline as a Service.
A big problem we have observed within the enterprise blockchain space is the lack of a unified architecture that solves for the end-to-end complexity of blockchain while also delivering on the promise of blockchain to enterprise organizations. Now, the reason for this is actually because solutions that can deliver the expected amount of transformative value that organizations are seeking require multiple consensus protocols working in concert to actually achieve this. Many layer 1 and layer 2 protocols exist today. For example, the Ethereum public blockchain and state channels, the Bitcoin blockchain, and the Lightning Network. While many of these layer 2 scaling solutions have shown promise, they simply remain inaccessible to organizations due to the cost and complexity of designing production-ready solutions that also incorporate these fast-moving projects with the middleware and know-how to deliver enterprise integration projects targeting systems such as SAP and Microsoft Dynamics, just to name a few. A lot of know-how is required to deliver these projects. There is simply too much execution risk for truly transformative enterprise blockchain projects. You know, the ones which promise to unlock enterprise DeFi.
Martin, Stefan, and I have been working on a white paper for the last months that draws from our experience with customers to examine how we address this problem at enterprise scale using the Baseline protocol. The paper examines issue number 104 within the Ethereum Oasis Baseline Roadmap GitHub repo to posit a definition of the Baseline mainnet. We believe we have identified a novel solution to the scalability trilemma in such a way that enterprise DeFi will work and scale on the public Ethereum mainnet well before ETH2 reaches maturity. I hope your interest is piqued and you will read our proposal.
Thomas talks about how the lack of a unified architecture has plagued enterprise blockchain projects in the past and why the baseline protocol needs a proper mainnet to function. This doesn't necessarily mean that UBT is ditching Ethereum for good, as Thomas explains in another video from the same event, expressing they hope to use ETH 2.0, but they do have obligations to deliver this technology to enterprises now. Not today, not tomorrow, this very moment. In fact, Thomas says that Baseline Protocol's new mainnet will still utilize Ethereum 1.0's public net. So don't fret, Ethereum fanboys, they are still using Ethereum just with their own sidechain protocol solution, splitting up transactions. Unibright has said for its community to expect updates in regards to the mainnet in February of 2021. It looks like the solutions with Coke One North America, or Coca-Cola, are almost ready to go live. It's important to note this doesn't mean POC or proof of concept. It's in a production phase according to the Unibright team. Many people in crypto don't realize how many of the great clients or partnerships that are announced in crypto never go beyond POC. Unibright expressed that they are working on multiple ends as always, but will only get loud when everything's 100% safe. It's super important to highlight that what Unibright is building is enterprise DeFi, as Cointelegraph's Rachel Wolfson points out in a tweet. In her article, Wolfson interviewed Kyle Thomas of Provide, and he discussed enterprise DeFi. Enterprise DeFi demonstrates the vision of blockchain to democratize finance for institutions and individuals. For example, tokenized invoices are becoming assets that can be purchased by major banks as investments moving forward. So how will the Baseline Protocol be used in enterprise DeFi? Invoice tokenization will be one of the first use cases for enterprise DeFi. For example, Coke One North America, or Kona, has been one of the first mega companies to have publicly announced its plan to tokenize supplier invoices. Provide and Unibright have since merged their enterprise technology stacks under a single entity, Provide. The two companies aim to unify the technology enterprises using the Baseline Protocol, an Oasis open source initiative on the Ethereum mainnet. Besides Kona, Provide is also using the Baseline Protocol itself for invoice payments, so the technology is already being tested. Thomas again explains that the Baseline Protocol will be used as DeFi for corporate data sharing. The Baseline Protocol is the linchpin that will facilitate the age of corporate data sharing. The ability to seamlessly coordinate business processes such as purchasing and supply chain movements between trading partners is a game changer for global business. Provide and Unibright joined the Baseline community with the pieces of the puzzle needed to make baselining easy to adopt, without impacting existing enterprise users. We are now putting those pieces together permanently in a unified end-to-end baseline as a service offering. Last year, Provide, Unibright, Chainlink, and Between launched an invoice tokenization and factoring project within the Baseline roadmap, aimed at adding the Baseline protocol to DeFi. At the time of this recording, there's 26.18 billion total value locked in DeFi protocols, according to DeFi Pulse. As we previously said on this channel before, DeFi blue chips are going to be huge in this space. If Unibright accomplishes its mission, a small investment could be turned into a fortune. Unibright has currently been pumping. It's had a massive month and just broke up again. It's trading on Uniswap, Balaxy, Bittrex, and other exchanges, so make sure to check CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap for all the markets by searching the UBT ticker. Let me know what you guys think about UBT. Is it born to run, or will it fall short of its goals? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like these types of deep dive videos, make sure to smash that like button on your way out so we know. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good way out.